Adebayo.
With you there, but if you're a coach, do you take that chance?
Yes.
You can reach us at the Off the Record Show at gmail.com. Anthony Adebayo and the most accurate sports coverage. Scotty B's Fantasy 5.
We're different from any other sports.
His sophomore year. Comes back and says, you know what?
And your boy, Scotty B.
What can we hear? Can they hear now? People saying no sound.
Saying no sound.
All right, let's get a thumbs up in the comments if you can hear us, man. We'll figure this out and get it going. So let's make sure, because I mean, we got sound over here.
I don't know. Maybe it's just one person.
All right, let's see. You know what we can do? We can play it from here and see what happens on the Off the Record page on YouTube. So if you got YouTube, go and check it out. And I'm about to hit the. That sound like sound. Yeah?
Sound like sound. Okay, so it might just
sound.
be.
All right, no, I mean, we good. I don't like the way that looks on YouTube, but we can get to that later. So, all right, so now what we got going on for we talk about, obviously, the NFL trade deadline just passed. The NBA season is starting to like pick up, and so we're gonna talk about like each deadline. See, you know, what deadline do you prefer? Because you know, some offer different things. We also have NFL football to talk about. You know, with quarterbacks and certain teams that are doing what it is that they have to do. So I guess before we get to that, I do want to address a couple things.
Okay. Floor is yours, sir.
So on this past weekend, you know, I was on another podcast, and you know, some things kind of happened that I wouldn't say anything negative, but I feel like I did some things, and my point wasn't how can you say it? I felt like I wasn't heard.
Okay.
And some things that I said may have been misconstrued, or there may have been some sort of misinterpretation of what I was saying and what I was presenting to like the group. And I never got my opportunity to get a final word.
Was he going to take the final word today?
Because we have Off the Record and our platform, we can do what we want. I will take this opportunity to get my final word.
Okay.
So, with that being said, when you know, and of course, this is no disrespect to anyone, but we all have our own opinions, and I think that is healthy, especially with a panel, that everybody not necessarily say the same thing. You know, if there's a difference of opinion, I think people are entitled to a difference of opinion, and if there's a difference of opinion, you take it, you respect what they say. You don't have to like it, but should, you know, show grace and show respect to whoever it is, especially a guest on your show. So on Sunday, a comment that I made about Kanye. Now, you know, we talked about Kanye last week, and one of the questions that I asked was why, and it was taken personal. It wasn't supposed to be a personal thing. I was talking about us as a group, us as a people. Why are we giving the energy and things of that nature? Not necessarily why did you decide to talk about Kanye? Because we talked about Kanye, and this is a sports show. You see what I'm saying? So again, it was more of a why are we giving him this energy when we can focus energy on trying to move everything forward, right? And that question is asked to ultimately say, all right, this is what we're doing. This is what blah blah blah, whatever. So in closing, I do feel that not necessarily give Kanye grace or give Kanye energy, but any sort of hate, whether it's against blacks, Jews, whites, whoever, Asians, it doesn't matter. Shouldn't be tolerated.
Right.
Just because it's your group, if it isn't your group, you still shouldn't tolerate it. If that makes any sense.
Makes a lot of sense.
So ultimately, that's what I wanted to get off my chest. That's what I was going to say. Hate none and love all. You know, and now we can get back to the sports. Speaking of which, Kyrie Irving.
Okay.
We should go there. Speaking of, you know, because it's Kyrie Irving. So he retweeted I think it was a movie or a book or whatever. I forgot the name of it, but it was something about blacks and Jews, and it had like some anti-Semitic type things. And he retweeted it, and then he deleted it. You know, and so I think that now he's in the hot water, as we all know. And he said, and you know, he did post and say that he's anti-Semitic. I mean, he's not anti-Semitic, but now the Nets won't let him be available for the to the media.
Okay.
And Nike, the NBA, the Nets, and some other places have condemned what he tweeted or retweeted, and they have and that was it. They condemned him, and now it's like what happens now? You know, because he is one, he played bad last night, the first game after Stephen got fired. But what happens now? I've heard people say he should get cut. I've heard people say he should get cut. I've heard people say that he should be suspended. I've heard, you know, some other things. He should be traded. Nobody's going to trade for him. So what is with Kyrie Irving in this whole situation?
So here's my thing about Kyrie Irving. I find myself disagreeing with most things that he says. I don't agree with his tweet. I don't agree with his posts. And I think it's a thin line between, love and hate and freedom of speech, right?
Right.
So, on one end, people say, okay, it's your media account. You should be able to do what you want.
Right.
Unfortunately, most of us live in a society to where you can't say what you want to say. I mean, I get that as freedom of speech, but because you think it doesn't mean that you are allowed to put it in the air. And I just give an example. You as a coach, right? You coach, you work. If you're posting hateful things, guess what? Your organization is going to come to you, and they're probably going to fire you, right? Or they're going to make some sort of example of you. So I kind of get the fact that some people are calling for him to be cut, or some people are saying that he should lose his job. I think that that's a bit extreme.
Right.
I think not allowing him to talk to the press is a little bit extreme, just based off the fact that it hasn't been consistent for everybody, right? Kyrie Irving is not the first person to tweet something stupid or say anything stupid. Even though I disagree with the stance that he takes on a lot of it,
right,
I disagree with a lot of stances that a lot of athletes or entertainers or just politicians and stuff like that, but we don't provide the same energy that we're providing to Kyrie. So I don't think that they're going to get rid of him, but I do think that he needed another distraction for his team, which is the last thing that team needs. I mean, they just lost their coach yesterday. I believe they're 2-6. I believe they're somewhere around the 10th or the 11th spot in the East. That team right now, I saw something that Kendrick Perkins posted about that team, about how they're just off in the middle. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's what he said. He said Pop-Tart sweet. And it's true, right? They got Kyrie, they got Kevin, they're doing what they can do. You look at Ben Simmons, he looks terrible, for lack of words, and I know that they're trying to get him help to get him back, but it's a bad look. I mean, things are so bad that they are in the works to get a coach or hire a coach that been suspended for a year for improper conduct. And yeah, do I believe that he can help them win? Absolutely. But when you're that desperate that you're willing to just take, I guess, for lack of better words, anybody, to right the ship, they don't need this other distraction. And with Kyrie, I guess one thing that, so we gave him kudos last episode, right? So we gave him kudos for, he stuck to his guns. He was vaccinated. He may end up getting his money back. But I always am going to the point of questioning Kyrie's motives.
Hold that thought. We're going to do something real quick. So everybody that's listening, we go off and we're going to come right back. All right, because something's going on with our picture. So, we're going to go off and we'll be right back. Don't even worry about it. Off the record, to be right back in a hot second.